Maggie Woolley reporting.
Attention homeowners in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. Location, no problem. Visit eastcoastmotorclub.com or call us at 718-863-2525 for a complete review of your homeowner's policy. Your home is the most important purchase you will ever make. Don't take any chances. For more than 40 years... forward in your relationships and your career, but life just seems to take you for a ride. Thankfully, California Psychics can help. Whenever you find yourself spiraling into uncertainty, our accurate psychics are available 24/7 to give you all the guidance you need to move forward in life. California Psychics is the psychic service more people trust. That's why we can guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us. Their first reading. So, there's never been a better time to give our service a try. Will you look at that? Jackpot. Experience the joy of certainty with California Psychics.
At 3:48, a man and woman both shot at a luxury apartment building in Brooklyn Monday.
Police officers were taking pictures of the 16-story building called The Arch here on President Street, where two people were shot a little after 8 a.m. Sally Ramos has lived here about 8 months, says she was starting to feel weary about some people.
Arguments and fighting and stuff like that.
Yeah,
in the nighttime. Yeah, in the nighttime, yeah. But me, I stay away from all that, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just sad that a woman and man got shot.
A 27-year-old woman in the foot, a 31-year-old man in the foot and eye. Ramos wonders about security here.
There's a back door that's easy getting through, too. That anybody gets in. That's why I don't feel so secure in this building like I used to.
Another resident told me there are cameras everywhere, and you need to show your key to get in. Mac Rosenberg, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM in Crown Heights.
New York City is running out of room to house a flood of migrants arriving daily. Now, Mayor Adams is giving them a deadline to find their own place to live.
As the number of asylum seekers in New York City's care surpasses 64,100, Mayor Eric Adams' administration saying it will give migrant families with children 60 days to find alternative housing. Monday's announcement builds on a previous policy issued by the mayor to give 30-day notices to adult migrants in the city without kids. The mayor indicating city caseworkers will help asylum seekers figure out the next steps. It's unclear if families will have the chance to appeal these notices or if they'll be forced to leave shelters if the time expires. Dave Packer, ABC News, New York.
It's not sci-fi, it's AI coming to New York City government.
Mayor Adams wants artificial intelligence to help the operation of city services. He says it won't be a Terminator-type figure taking over city government.
Take a deep breath, get a grip. It is going to help us function better in the city.
He says he's now fluent in other languages.
When we went through those hiring walls and I heard people who speak Bengali, when I heard people who speak Urdu, when I heard people speak Spanish, they translated, we heard your local call in our language.
It's helping New Yorkers find city services. The tech team also rolled out a first-of-its-kind chatbot on the My City portal to provide information for small business owners. Julia Papa, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
53 degrees, partly cloudy in Midtown. Humidity's at 74%. Winds are variable at 3 gusting to 17 miles per hour. Repeating the current temperature, 53, going down just to 50 in Midtown. We'll have the full AccuWeather 4-day forecast coming right up to you. But first, Winds News Time 351. Traffic and transit with Jeff Jensen.
You're pretty crowded here at the GWB inbound on the upper level. Not getting word there's more than one lane blocked. Looks like up to 3 lanes blocked on the inbound upper level. That's counts for that 20 to 25 minute wait to get into the city there. Now, if you're headed to the bridge and you're in a car, not in a truck, you can use the lower level of the bridge. Outbound, the lower level is closed. You have to use the upper. No delay at the Lincoln either way. Arlington is closed outbound until 5:30. Bunching up on the Parkway again, northbound as you head for exit 156. Overnight construction is the culprit there. And in Brooklyn, yeah, we still have a full shutdown. Not heavy traffic, but a full closure of the westbound Bell Parkway at Flatbush Avenue with an accident investigation. This closed, eastbound was closed for about 5 hours. That's been reopened, but the westbound does remain closed at Flatbush Avenue. And on Long Island, a full shutdown in place on the northern state for paving work between Deer Park Avenue and Route 1 We're going to go for the Long Island Expressway there, which is quiet and construction-free. Southern State Parkway moves on pretty nicely, too, with no issues at all. And on the trains, had some delays, still some delays on the E and F trains in Queens. They did some track work there this morning. I'm Jeff Jensen. The next report at 4:01. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Now, as advertised, here's the AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Here's meteorologist Carl Babinski.
As clouds linger on this Tuesday morning, expect lows around 50. Later today, changing amounts of clouds and sun. There will be a stray shower as well this afternoon, high 62. Partly cloudy tonight, low 51. However, many inland suburbs will drop into the low and mid-40s. Later today, sun will mix with clouds, and it will be more pleasant, high 64. Thursday, nice and mild with plenty of sunshine, high 67. Friday, however, it'll become cloudy. Some rain is possible, especially later in the day and at night. Friday's high 66. The storm this weekend could produce rain and wind. It could have an impact on outdoor plans and traveling, especially Saturday into Saturday night. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Carl Babinski on New York's weather station. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
It's been featured on shows like Succession and Gossip Girl, and now it could be part of your real estate portfolio. The 6-story townhouse on East 75th Street is hitting the market. First deal is under $15 million, and you'll get 6,000 square feet of heaven with 5 bedrooms and 6 baths. That opens up to 2,000 square feet of outdoor landscape living space, including terraces, and you can even walk to the Metropolitan Museum of Art just a few blocks away. Scientists in the U.S. are proposing a sweeping new law of nature, one that expands on evolution.
Scientists have identified what they're calling a missing law of nature that might explain the evolution of evolving systems in the universe, like stars, chemicals, and even life. Michael Wong with the Carnegie Institution for Science says they're proposing a new natural law looking to explain it all.
We think that evolution extends actually far beyond life, that life is just one example of an evolving process, and so we see change over time, and complexification over time in physical systems and chemical systems.
He calls it a new lens into why we see everything we see in the universe.
Correspondent Matt Piper, the study is published in Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. Late night binging on potato chips and ice cream, the delights, and then the guilt. Well, it turns out junk food is just as addictive as heroin, nicotine, and cocaine. A new analysis of 281 studies across 36 different countries has uncovered the staggering 14% of adults are hooked on ultra-processed foods, including soda and sausage and sugary cereals. It's all linked to cognitive decline, cancer, psychological distress, even an early death. The analysis was led by University of Michigan professor Ashley Gearhart, who previously created the Yale Food Addiction Scale by applying the same criteria that experts use to diagnose substance addiction. Wednesday's time, 3:55.
Don't put off tomorrow. say inflation and high prices have them modifying their plans in one way or another. Many say they're driving instead of flying, taking fewer trips, and saving on where they stay. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Erica Ruskowitz for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM. When a student lacks basic needs. Here are some simple things you can do to help out the environment. Remove any window air conditioners. Check window and door seals for proper insulation to keep heat in and cold air out. And replace the air filter in your furnace to keep it running at peak efficiency all winter long. When we each share our one thing, it becomes 100 things, 1,000 things, 1,000,000 things for our planet. What's your one thing?
It's Dr. Lederman speaking with and she didn't want surgery. Did anyone offer you those options?
No.
What did you think?
I thought, well, that would be great if it worked.
Came to us learning that you could, if you wish, avoid the surgery, avoid the chemo,
Exactly.
and you chose that. You had standard radiation years ago on the left breast, and then you had our radiation on the right breast. And what was the difference?
Well, I didn't have any burning. I had nothing. I couldn't believe it. I had a very good experience being here.
Our treatment was working and the cancer's now in remission.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Clouds with a low around 50 degrees later today. Times of clouds and sun with a stray shower this afternoon. With a high of 62 tonight, partly cloudy, low 51. Many suburbs dropping into the lower and mid 40s tomorrow. Some sun, some clouds, a pleasant afternoon with a high of 64. Thursday mostly sunny, nice and mild, high 67. 53 degrees right now, partly cloudy in Midtown. More people get their news from 1010 Winds than from any other radio station in the nation. Amanda Alexander is our service aide. Jim Maloney at the editor's desk.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM, New York.
Good morning. 3 degrees, partly cloudy skies at 4 o'clock on this Tuesday, October 17th. I'm Monique Coppola. Here's what's happening. A late-night announcement. President Biden heading to Israel to confirm the U.S.'s support there. As the IDF continues its offensive, the search continues for the 199 hostages taken by Hamas, including as many as 13 Americans. Police say a man was harassed and beaten while wearing a turban and mask on an MTA bus in Queens. Cops are searching for the suspect. 2 schools being used to house migrants on Staten Island are shut down. You'll see some new sports competitions during the 2028 Olympics if you watch them. In sports, the Rangers win their home opener 2-1 over the Coyotes. The Devils lose to the Panthers 4-3. Phillies take game 1 of the NLCS 5-3 over the Diamondbacks. Texas takes a 2-0 lead with a 5-4 win over the Astros. AccuWeather says early this morning, lingering clouds with a low around 50. Later today, times of clouds and sun with a stray shower or 2 this afternoon with a high of 62 degrees in the city. With due time 4:01, traffic and transit. Here's Jeff Jensen.
And go back to Brooklyn to the Bell Parkway. The Bell Parkway remains closed westbound at Flatbush Avenue. It's an accident investigation. All traffic being forced off at Flatbush Avenue. Detour yourself up to Avenue U and hook up back with Knapp Street to get onto the Bell Parkway. Eastbound West closed. It's been reopened. The Van Wyck is down both ways to Atlantic Avenue. Pretty busy from southbound, from Hillside northbound from 101st Avenue. The right lane, the only one open each way for overnight construction work. And on Long Island, a full shutdown in place of the northern state from Deer Park Avenue to Route 110 for paving work, so stay with the LIU there. It's doing okay. The ride in Connecticut is good. The Marin 95 not too bad. And here's what you need to know about the bridge and tunnels. Time of inbound at the George, 20 minutes to the upper level. 3 lanes are blocked on the bridge, then 2 under the apartments. Outbound your slope and the D to the bridge with the lower level shut down till 5. No troubles at the Lincoln. Holland Tunnel remains closed outbound until 5:30 in the morning. I'm Jeff Jensen. Our next report at 4:11. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
President Biden traveling to Israel Wednesday as fears increase about the war with Hamas expanding into a larger regional conflict.
There's concern about the president's security heading to a war zone, but Secretary of State Antony Blinken says Mr. Biden feels it's critical to make the trip there.
President Biden will underscore our crystal clear message to any actor, state,
They're ready for a ground offensive into Gaza. Andy Field, ABC News, Washington.
White House National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby says the president will also travel to Jordan, where he'll meet with King Abdullah, Egyptian President Abdel El-Sisi, and Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. Pentagon has placed about 2,000 American troops on a heightened state of readiness to possibly deploy to the Middle East. Governor Hochul's office announcing the governor's also traveling to Israel Wednesday. It's not known who she's meeting with, but will return to the U.S. on Friday. The Israeli Defense Forces announcing they plan to launch a methodic campaign in their ground offensive to find Hamas militants hiding in Gaza. Densely populated narrow strip of land along the sea limits any escape for both the militants and innocent civilians.
More than 2,700 Gazans have already been killed. More than 3,700 residential buildings collapsed. According to local authorities, 1,000 bodies believed buried beneath them. The bodies are stacked up. People are too afraid to bury their dead. Dr. Ghassan Abu Sita from Doctors Without Borders describing an apocalyptic scene.
When you drive by one of the targeted buildings, there's a stench of decaying bodies.
1 million Palestinians have been warned to head south away from the Israeli border, but they are trapped with nowhere to go.
Correspondent Matt Gutman. EU leaders will hold an emergency summit today as concerns grow that the war between Israel and Hamas could fuel tensions in Europe and bring more refugees in search of sanctuary there. Since Hamas attacked southern Israel on October 7th, triggering the latest Gaza war, France has ordered a ban on pro-Palestinian demonstrations and say the number of anti-Semitic acts has risen. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand speaking on the Senate floor about people taken hostage by Hamas.
For the U.S. Senator, my top priority is the safety and security of the American people. And I'm going to be working closely with the State Department to secure the safe return of the 13 Americans who are still unaccounted for.
Gillibrand says every day that goes by, the hostages are more at risk. There are an estimated 199 hostages, including as many as 13 missing Americans. The Council on American Islamic Relations in New Jersey is addressing what they say is a rise in anti-Palestinian and anti-Muslim attacks since the war in Israel started.
The group says the plight of the Palestinians is being ignored by leaders, including Governor Murphy.
Words matter, and your words, as elected officials, have shaped a twisted narrative that has dehumanized and even demonized the Muslim and Palestinian community.
Saladin Maksud is the executive director of CARE in New Jersey.
The CARE New Jersey office has not received this many calls for help since the Muslim ban 2017.
He mentioned several incidents last week, including the firing of a doctor at Hackensack Hospital at the Jersey Shore who posted his support for Palestine on social media, and the online harassment of pro-Palestinian students in Cherry Hill. Marla Diamond, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Thank you, Weather Center. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 51 degrees. Many suburbs dropping into the lower and mid-40s. Tomorrow, some sun, some clouds, a pleasant afternoon with a high of 64. Thursday, mostly sunny, nice and mild, high 67. 53 degrees right now, partly cloudy in Central Park. TikTok is stepping up efforts to counter misinformation, incitement to violence and hate relating to the Israel-Hamas war on its platform, launching a command center to coordinate the work of its safety professionals around the world, improving the software it uses to automatically detect and remove graphic and violent content, also hiring more Arabic and Hebrew speakers to moderate content. Two former schools on Staten Island being used to house migrants now shutting down over safety concerns.
The shelters have been controversial because of just how strong the opposition was from the local community. The last of 162 migrants are now out of the St. John's Villa Academy, says Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis.
They do not have a sprinkler system. They didn't have a fire alarm, which obviously are requirements for any kind of housing.
She thinks the migrants are now being taken back to an intake center. Malliotakis and others sued to have it shut down and won, but the city is appealing.
We want to see the mayor stop interpreting or misinterpreting the right to shelter decree, which was intended only for homeless New Yorkers, not for citizens of other countries.
City Hall is trying to get rid of the right to shelter law when it comes to this crisis. Mac Rosenberg, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Cops are searching for a suspect wanted in connection with a hate crime in Queens. Authorities say it happened Sunday morning at about 9 when a 19-year-old man was on an MTA shuttle bus at 118th Street and Liberty Ave in South Ozone Park. He was wearing a turban and a mask. Another man yelled at him saying, "We don't wear that in this country, and take off that mask." The suspect then punched the victim in the head and face before trying to pull the turban off of his head. The NYPD's Hate Crimes Unit is investigating. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 800-577-TIPS. You can see photos of the suspect at 1010wins.com. Rite Aid seeking Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection as it deals with lawsuits and lawsuits.
Fidelity Funds portfolio manager Jeff Jonas expects the company to close a couple of hundred locations.
It's really just the equity gets wiped out and the debt gets converted to equity and to new equity, and then they end up with a better balance sheet and better cash flow.
And some of the employees that are let go could help staff shortages at other drugstores.
I think closing a couple hundred stores will reduce some excess capacity and free up some labor pressure because there's a huge shortage of pharmacists.
While Rite Aid currently has more than 2,100 stores, Walgreens and CVS Health each run about 9,000 locations or more. I'm Shirley Adler.
Wins News Time 4:09. Traffic and AccuWeather next on 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify 7171. That's 800-266-7171.
The IRS, the world's most $225,000. After Coach 1 canceled, Mark walked away paying less than $1,500. Call Coach 1 now. A 10-minute call can save you up to 93% on your back taxes. Get your fresh start today. That's 800-601-8802.
It's time for 11 traffic and transit. Here's Jeff Jensen.
Heaviest traffic around these parts. Heaviest traffic would be trying to get into the city at the GWB. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. About a 25-minute wait into town there. 3 lane spots on the upper level, 2 under the apartments. That's why it's so crowded. Jam from the Deegan to the bridge, trying to get up to the upper level. That's the only level open. All this work runs for the next hour or so. Usually clears right before 5. Lincoln Tunnel's okay both ways. Holland Tunnel is closed out until 5:30. The Staten Island bridges are okay, but there is some work going on as you get over to the Jersey side on the outer bridge. I'm going to stay with the Gothas instead. In Brooklyn, the Bell Parkway remains closed. Westbound accident investigation. Everyone being forced off at Flatbush Avenue. Now an easy detour there. Flatbush Avenue most likely also involves headed up to Avenue U and then back to Knapp Street to get onto the Bell Parkway. Now eastbound was closed for 5 hours. It's been reopened. In Queens, the Van Wyck's tied both ways to Atlantic Avenue. The right lane, the only one getting by each way there. And yeah, Long Island, they've got that full closure in place of the northern state. You're set for paving work between Deer Park Avenue, exit 42, and Route 110, exit 40. No service road, of course, for the northern, so you have to use the LIE there instead. Southern State Parkway is nice and quiet this morning, and not too bad around New Jersey. Had some slowdowns on the Parkway over the Driscoll Bridge, some work going on there. As you get over the bridge in the local lanes, exit 123 down to the John Bon Jovi service area. I'm Jeff Jensen. Our next report, 421, 1010 winds on 92.3 FM.
Now, the AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Here's meteorologist.
Could produce some rain and wind that could have an impact on outdoor plans and travel, especially Saturday and Saturday night. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Sarah Levinsky on New York Weather Station, 1010 winds on 92.3 FM.
In this unprecedented time of worldwide economic challenge, it's so important that you keep a close eye on your retirement and be ready to take the steps necessary to protect your money. Having a portion of your IRA or 401k backed by physical gold and silver offers Americans the diversification needed to hedge against economic volatility and potential turmoil. Savvy retirement savers are those with the foresight to safeguard with genuine stores of value, like physical gold and silver, which in the past have soared during periods of misery for the rest of the economy. Diversify your hard-earned savings today by calling Birch Gold Group and get your free information kit to teach you how precious metals can protect your family's financial future. Birch Gold is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau and has thousands of satisfied customers. Call them at 800-647-5525. That's 800-647-5525. 800-647-5525.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is toast. It's exactly like saying,
Bye.